I've tried to make my media product conform to the codes and conventions of conventional media products that I've looked at in my research and planning. When planning my horror trailer, I had to take many factors into account. This included lighting, sounds, and the characters. I had to make sure that the characters were dedicated also. The factor that I took into account when planning my horror trailer so it could follow the codes and convention is the lighting. No, the variety of room trailer that I looked at had low-key lighting, so I made my film trailer have low-key lighting also. My trailer was not set in one location, as I felt that it would be unrealistic, as many horror trailers are not just set in one location, and the target audience would certainly notice that the horror trailer does not follow the codes conventions adequately. One of the places that I filmed was in the woods that was very local to me and at very easy access for me. Also, although the woods did not provide too much low-key lighting, I was able to edit it in a way that it connoted a mysterious enigma. I added a jump scare which was enhanced with sound also. Another location of my film trailer was set in my house. This enabled me to manipulate the lighting to my advantage and add a very scary effect to my trailer. Many locations I used in my trailer followed the codes and conventions of horror, as they were very dimly lit. One of the locations I used was the chaplaincy in my school, which is often associated, which is like a church and is often associated with many horror trailers. It could have been said that the location I used was intertextuality from the Exorcist trailer. In many horror trailers that I analysed during my research and planning, I noticed that there was a variety of high angle shots, which often make the protagonist look considerably inferior to the antagonist. This was also used in the Insidious trailer for a very similar effect. One way that I would say that my horror trailer challenges this media prop was that I've shown the face of the antagonist, which isn't normally done in the genre of psychological horrors, due to the fact that it can sometimes deter the target audience from watching the film, as they may know what is going to happen in the film. I was unable to gain access to panning and tracking equipment, so I was forced to improvise and use a panning effect at the start of the trailer to slowly show the antagonist. I used a variety of shots that conform to the conventional horror trailers that I've looked at in my research and planning, and one of them is a wide-angle shot. This wide-angle shot enabled me to add an effect of the antagonist appearing out of nowhere as a jump scare. Another thing I would say was representative of a horror genre was my typography, that I tried to keep consistent with my magazine and poster. I thought that my typography closely linked to the genre of horror. It wasn't just the plain text, but I added a hand on the end to create an effect of someone being possessed or trapped. For the beginning of my horror trailer, I looked at Insidious 2 and Paranormal Activity 4, which were edited, which were very quickly edited. I noticed that they both began very calm and the editing sped up to make my target audience more interested in the trailer and add a sense of suspense. I also noticed that there were many jump scares in both of the horror trailers that I looked at. These were enhanced by non-diegetic sounds, which I also added to interest the viewers of my trailer. For my ancillary task, I would say that I was much more stricter with myself, and I did not try to develop or go against the conventional media product, as I felt that these codes and conventions were set in order to attract your target audience. Another thing that I did in my magazine is that I added cover lines that were red and that were large, and I made sure, and I added a crack effect on the main image, which gave a gruesome effect to the antagonist. I also added a splatter of blood on the back of the main title, of the masthead, which I'd seen in a previous magazine cover. The masthead that I used was very similar to the masthead that was used for Paris Cinema, and for the Paris Cinema that I looked at in my research and planning. Another thing about that with the typography, another code of convention that I followed with my magazine poster was the main image, as as it was large, just like a lot of it followed as many posters that I've looked at were very large, and I made sure that my main image was large. I had to make my main image capture the audience eyes, so I made him large, and I made his eyes, as eye contact is very important in media, especially eye contact with the camera. I made his eyes a certain color, which would capture the eyes of the target audience. And I'd seen this in a horror poster that I'd looked at in my research and planning. Another thing that I did that I thought my magazine poster had was low-key lighting, as that conformed to the conventions of horror posters. The low-key lighting added a sense of a mysterious enigma, and this mysteriousness would have enticed the audience to watch the film, the target audience to watch the film.
Okay.
With the background for my horror magazine and poster, which were my ancillary task, I made sure that the backgrounds were very dark and gloomy, which also connoted a mysterious effect, and this mysterious effect would have also enticed the audience to watch the film.